Hello, hello, my beautiful, beautiful women of the world. This is Dr. Angelika Christie, your host of the show, Your Radiant Life After 55. It's a show for women who are not done living yet, who want more from life. And actually, today, we are the women who are called to step forward and be the pillars of a new consciousness. So we are giving birth to a new world. So if you're a woman over 55, you have a treasure chest of experience and so much to share, so much to contribute. But things can get difficult, and we live in that kind of time today. But anyway, without much further ado, I want to tell you a little bit about the theme of today's show, which is, can love and chaos coexist? Because love is our essence. That's who we are. And that's what we want to cultivate. Because this is what especially the new era, the new world, the new humankind is going to be all about. And yet it is so difficult sometimes to stay in that focus and in that essence of who we are, because we are hijacked unless we don't look into the news, and we are not at all surrounded by the chaos that is going on today. So if you don't watch the news, are not interested in what's going on in the world, in politics, you probably live on an island somewhere without internet, or you have mastered the art of being always in your center, no matter what. So, but storms are raging, and we are in a time of major shift. And I don't know if you felt it, but just 2 days ago, we started, the night of from the 13th to the 14th of March, today is the 15th, we had an incredible, not only a full moon, but a total lunar eclipse. Lunar, what did I say? Lunar? A total lunar eclipse. And we had the blood moon. The moon turned red. So this year is marked as one of the years where the shift really takes place. And which means that when something new arrives, and it may take years and years and years, something has to give way. That means something has to be dismantled. And in the time that we live today, it's usually not a gentle process. It's hardly ever a gentle process. Even the universe has horrific events, because there is always a destruction, and out of that comes a rebirth of something. So just to get this a little bit closer into your imagination, imagine a storm. We all experience storms, right? Imagine a storm raging outside, a whirlwind, a lot of rain and thunder. And actually, where I live in the Bahamas, I have experienced hurricanes. And I have actually seen a hurricane come right over us with a lot of destruction. But there is something that's very unique. The wind whirls around and uproots roofs and trees and all kinds of things. And it goes in a certain circle. And then, and I have witnessed that the eye of the storm moved right over our house, right over where we live. Well, we live in a high rise, and it's the 10th and 11th, the 10th floors. So it's pretty high with a tremendous view over the ocean. And so I could see when that was coming, and then all of a sudden there was this almost eerie stillness, total stillness, and even blue sky, and the sun was shining down. And then, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes afterwards, the whole thing started all over again. But that time, the other way, right? The wind started to howl, and howl, I think is the word, howl. And I mean, we had wind speeds of 175 miles an hour. I think up to 200 miles an hour. So that's severe. Anyway, maybe you haven't we haven't experienced that, but if you have ever experienced raging storms, whirlwinds, rain and thunder and all of this, you can probably imagine standing in the very center of that storm. The way I have described it now, even if you haven't been in a hurricane, but you know there is the eye of the storm. And so imagine standing in that eye of the storm where everything is really still. I know this is the paradox of our world today. Chaos and love coexisting. Chaos is kind of the storm, the whirlwind, and love is the center in perfect harmony, alignment, and in stillness, in joy. Can you find peace and joy in a world that seems to be spiraling out of control? It may not be easy, but it is absolutely possible. And I believe this is actually what is asked of us today, because we cannot be picked up and thrown around and be taken out of our center because of what's going on outside in the world. Of course, if the storm is right at your doorstep, you have to take action and do whatever is necessary. But usually, because of the internet, because we get all of the news, we get sucked into all of the storms that are raging around, all of the chaos. And that is not healthy. Not only is it not healthy, but it is, it makes no sense. You can have compassion and sending it love, but don't get hijacked or pulled into it. I have witnessed both extremes, unconditional love and overwhelming chaos. I have experienced it in my personal life, and we all have periods of times in our life. For example, I went through two divorces, and they were painful. So I know what chaos can look like, and the heart-wrenching confusion of and the internal dialogues of how it's supposed to be and is not, and everything that is attached to that. But what is never changing is who you are. You are unconditional love. And we are really asked at this time in history, where the world is shifting from the three-dimensional density of strive, and everything is about being competition and being better, and it's about money, and it's about taking what we can out of the earth, and it's not sustainable. the world around us is shifting, and it's shifting rapidly. And the greatest challenge we face is whether we allow ourselves to be swept into the storm and get beaten up, or maybe even lost in there, or taken away into an even worse situation, or if we can cultivate the stillness that exists within us. So today I want to invite you to explore how we can rise above fear, how we can step out of the drama and beyond the division, by centering ourselves in self-love and compassion. Because let me tell you, it starts with you. If you only look to love others, you are not grounded in love, because you can only be grounded in your love, which is self-love, which is the love that the divine gave you, gifted you with, so that you can always be connected to source, to your creator, right? And more importantly, how we can shift beyond the dualistic, dense third dimension into the frequency of the fifth dimension, where universal love, peace, and joy become our natural state of being. And the earth, I mean, we live in this time that has been foretold for eons. We live right, you are alive, otherwise you wouldn't hear me. And you're even interested in things outside of the hustle and bustle of life. Otherwise you would not be interested in our shows, not just mine, but all of these amazing shows, especially for women. And as I said before, women have been called to step out of their old belief systems and step forward and unapologetically be themselves and share their gift, which is so important today. Okay, so maybe let us define chaos a little bit better, because when we think of chaos, we immediately may want to shriek back as if chaos is the enemy. And it's not really necessarily, or not at all, the enemy. It is merely a breakdown of something that must break down. Maybe it is outdated structures, outdated belief system, outdated thought forms that no longer serve us. And our world has reached that point where it has gotten totally out of hand. I mean, when you think about what the world really runs off, so that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and the world becomes more and more depleted of its natural, beautiful resources. And why? Not because of the amount of humans living on this planet. This planet has no issue with the amount of humans, but it has issues and gets depleted and suffers. And because of how those who are hijacked, or not hijacked, who are focused on getting the highest profit from sucking more and more out of the earth or from others, when it's all basically about money, that is not sustainable. Or when you don't replenish what you take out of the earth, when the soil gets poisoned and gets not replenished and cared for and cultivated properly, then it gets thinner and thinner. And we have experienced that. We are experiencing it right now, where the topsoil has shrunk to a degree that it's not sustainable. anymore. In the next 60 years, we will not have much topsoil left. And that is not sustainable. So something needs to be really broken off. And the chaos is there to dismantle the structures that are not in alignment and in the harmony with what we need, we must have, so that we don't go into the sixth extinction, that we can come together and thrive, that it's not about the have and the haves and the have-nots. I think that's how you say it. The ones that have it all and the ones that have nothing. It's not right, and it doesn't have to be that way. So there's a lot of, when we resist chaos, we suffer, right? Because we cannot resist it. Chaos is an interim state in order to build something new. When we embrace it as a catalyst for growth, we can not only transform the outer, but we transform ourselves as well. And the third dimension thrives on division, right? We know this. Good versus evil, us versus them, right versus wrong. This is not how Source has created us. This is not how Father, Mother, God, or the universe works. But the media, society, and even our own minds are really programmed and feed on this duality. And then, of course, fear keeps us trapped, making us reactive, making us judgmental, and lost in narratives that are not even our own, that are indoctrinated. Yes, indoctrinated. Very deviously and very secretly in so many things that we are not even aware of. We hear it all openly, but there are so many other messages where we do not detect that it is an open assault on justice and all of this. But it is built in. So we get the message without receiving it consciously. But subconsciously we get it, and we run our programming runs 90% on our subconscious programming, right? So what if chaos is simply a call to elevate? That call has gone out today, to step out of conditioned fear and into trust. I know it's difficult with what's going on in the world. So many have lost trust and belief, and you know, their sense of peace. But we have to stop being hijacked by external drama and instead master our inner world. How can we do this? It's the key to transcendence. What does really centering mean? To center yourself means to stand in your own stillness. To stand in your own stillness. For example, when you experience fear, it is because either of something that you become aware of, and it triggers something in you that probably has happened in the past, something similar, and it triggers something that already exists within you. But if you are simply in the moment and you are not out on the raging sea or in the storm, or being prosecuted, or being abused in the moment itself is always still, is always fearless. Maybe you understand that, or maybe not. And For those who know meditation and who go into contemplation or meditation or stillness as a practice, they know that to center yourself means to stand in your own stillness, no matter what happens around you. And it means choosing, yes, choosing, not having peace, but you choose peace over reaction to whatever happens. And you choose trust over fear. It's a choice. And yes, even consider it, even if it feels strange to you or if you cannot really imagine it. Okay, so how can you do this? Of course, breath work. The breath is really always your anchor. When you are in fear or triggered into anxiety or whatever, your breath is rapid, or you kind of almost stop breathing. You hold your breath in terror. When you are shocked, you're holding your breath. So the breath, being aware of your breath, can be your anchor. A simple inhale for the count of 4 or 5 or more, and then hold it for a count of 4 maybe, and exhale, maybe a longer exhale, can reset your whole nervous system within a couple of seconds. It brings your nervous system from the reactive sympathetic circuit into your relaxed parasympathetic. It's almost like the car, the gas pedal and the brakes. It brings you into a state of turning on the brakes and coming to a still stand. All right. So it also helps to observe your thoughts. Just let them pass by like little puffy clouds in the sky without judging them, just observing. Observation is like contemplation. It doesn't ask you to make any judgment. Just see what is there without judging it. Ask yourself, when another thought comes in that is disturbed, that wants to be disturbed or wants to feel anxious, ask yourself, is this thought mine? Or is it part of the old subconscious program that is always running? And just becoming aware of that and stopping it. You can stop it. You have the power. It empowers you to say, I stop this right now. And I move my thought into something positive and beautiful and calm. Ground yourself in the now and maybe touch something physical. Be something that you can be grateful for, like your heart, yourself, your body. Tune into gratitude. What can you be grateful for? You can be grateful for just being alive, or something in particular that you want to bring into your in the moment of your awareness, because whatever you think, your body reacts to. Your body believes everything you think as if it's happening for real. I always tell my students or my clients, your imagination is so strong. If you imagine to bite into a very, very tangy and sour lime and the juice settles in your mouth, your mouth will create saliva. I am, without fail, there are very few who don't experience that. But, you have not really bitten in any lemon or lime at all, but just imagining it, even for a moment, has that reaction in your body. So your body believes what you bring into your awareness. So if you bring a pleasant, a beautiful thought into your awareness, your body reacts that way. It relaxes, right? So cultivating self-love and compassion, that's also very important, because chaos exists, okay? Can we agree on that? Chaos exists. It may not exist right now in your personal life, but it is all around us. And the theme is, can love and chaos coexist? And yes, it does. Self-love is one of the most powerful tools to to counter, excuse me, to, hold on one second, to counter chaos. Remind yourself to love yourself. Many of us were conditioned to believe that self-love is indulgent or selfish. In truth, it is the foundation of everything. When you love yourself fully, you radiate that love outward, because we are beings of frequency, of energy, of particle and waves, and whatever we experience or we desire to experience on the inside, that's what we give out. We are a receiving and also a sending station, a receiving and also a station that sends out frequencies, okay? So speak kindly to yourself. Do not judge or criticize yourself. If you do this, you're probably easy judge others as well. When you stop judging yourself and love yourself unconditionally and speak kindly to yourself, because words are frequency and they trigger chemistry within you. As I just said, your body believes everything you say and think. And those words that you say to yourself or think to yourself, they are words that have meaning and they create a reality within you. So replace self-criticism with affirmations of love and nurture your body, nurture your mind, your vessel, that beautiful body that has been given to you, that is so unique that only you have power over. That beautiful vessel of yours is sacred. So it is up to you to take care of it, right? Eat high vibrational foods, move vigorously during the day, because that generates like a dynamo, the energy that you have. And then rest in order to for that energy to feed and go through all of the meridians into every nook and cranny of your body, and feeds you with this beautiful life force energy. And engage in things that bring you joy. Why would you engage in things that make you anxious or sad? Not in your mind and not in actually in what you do. Seek out things that bring you joy and set boundaries. Love also means, you will no longer tolerate what is toxic for you. And that includes others who speak to you in a toxic way. You remove yourself, you refuse to take this into your body, and you kindly tell the person that this is not for you, this is not going into you, and maybe even remove yourself, right? If it's necessary. So don't tolerate what is intolerable. And what is also intolerable is negative self-talk. And if you have negative self-talk, then you probably also accept or tolerate negative talk from others. Don't do that. Start with becoming aware of stopping your negative self-talk and replace every time you catch yourself, replace it with something positive you have to say to yourself. Because once you cultivate deep love for yourself, it naturally extends to others. Because as I've said, you are receiving and also a station, an energy body that sends out frequencies all the time. You begin to see past your wounds. You begin to see past their wounds, beyond your reactions and beyond their reactions, into your soul, into their soul. This is where true unity begins, because your soul and their soul are the same. You are not the same on the outside, but your soul, your essence, they are the same. Let go of judgment and old thought forms of division. Judgment is one of the last barriers of love. Sometimes we think that we can love and be judgmental. No, they cannot exist at the same on the same level. There is so much to say about it that if I go in there, we will be way over time. Maybe I take that, how judgment and self-love can be handled in another episode. But when we judge, we actually separate, right? And when we say self-love and judgment can live together, we don't understand that they cannot. When we separate, we stay trapped in duality, right? Letting go of judgment alone is an act of love, is an act of self-love, and an act of loving others. The one or the persons or the situation that you judge, you can release that. Observe without labeling. Ask yourself, what if I don't know the whole story? So often we are focused on just one thing and we judge that. And we have only a little part of what's really going on. And practice radical empathy. Isn't that wonderful? Radical empathy. I love that expression. Empathy, yes, but radical empathy is okay. And maybe I don't feel like empathy, but I can become like outrageously loving or radically empathetic, right? Put yourself in the other person's shoe, even maybe for a moment. And even if you don't know what that means, just fantasize, imagine. And we women have a great ability to fantasize. So do that and see what happens. Because a new frequency is coming in. And if you are not open to it, then it will bypass you. The new frequency is of the fifth dimension, and it is pure, radiant, unconditional love. So what is the fifth dimension? It is not a place, it is a state of being. It is where unity, peace, and love exist beyond duality, and where fear dissolves and trust then takes the lead. So as soon as you choose love over fear, every moment presents a choice. And when you do that, your whole world changes. It very much does. You have to really practice it in order to feel that incredible existence of, everything will lift in your body, even your health will improve, everything. So which do you want to align with? Create an maybe an exercise whenever something comes up that disturbs you. See it as an illusion and see beyond the illusion. The world may appear chaotic, but underneath everything is aligned perfectly. That's really what chaos is. It scrambles things up. Do you know the butterfly actually comes out of chaos? We all know this, right? We have learned it in school and we have heard it so often that the caterpillar creates a cocoon around itself. And then inside there is tremendous chaos. There is nothing that stays the same. Everything is destroyed and scrambled. And out of that is created the most beautiful creation, a butterfly. When it breaks out of the cocoon and unfolds its beautiful wings and then takes flight into the sky from that creature that could not even run fast, but only crawl, it becomes a butterfly. So if you see chaos, maybe bring that in a vision or in a picture so that you calm down and can trust the chaos, that out of it can come the most beautiful creation. And that is the fifth dimension, the new world, the golden age. Yes. And it's not done in a big bang. It needs all of us to come together to create this. So when you anchor joy and you play and you create, be creative in whatever you do, and you dance and you sing and you do what you love to do, and you come together, you create groups and community and collaborate and all of this. When you embody joy, you understand that joy actually is your natural state. You shift the world not only within you, but you shift the world around you, and you shift the entire world because we are all connected to each other, right? So can love and chaos coexist? Have I proven that to you? Yes, it can. Because chaos is simply the prelude to transformation, and love is the force that carries us through it. And love is what creates the new. Yes? So I invite you to be the stillness within the storm, to choose love when fear tries to hijack you, to embrace your power as a divine creator, which you are. You are a divine creator of every moment of your life. And most of all, to rise beyond the noise into the higher frequencies of peace, joy, love, and unity. Take a deep breath and feel that now, just after listening to me and letting that settle in you, you have already created the first step into change. So that the storm that may rage outside, let it rage on, but within you, there is only love. And when enough of us come together to create that love, that unconditional love, we create out of the chaos the new world. And we'll live in this because the other is not sustainable anyway. All right. So thank you for sharing this space with me today. So if this message resonates with you, I would love to continue this journey together with you. Let's step into the new reality, one of love and not fear. You know how to get in touch with me. Let me know what was the most important part for you in this my presentation to you. And yes, love is the answer. Love is all there is. Everything else is illusion. So step out of the illusion and step into love. And share your love. Let your love radiate out so it touches others, so that they can wake up out of their constriction and chaos or sadness or hopelessness into the beautiful, the magnificent, the eternal state of love. And we can do this without leaving this physical body. This is what we have been asked to do and what we have been given as a gift to do. You may not believe it. And yet, what if you could consider it and just try it out? All right? I believe that we can move into this other dimension, this higher frequency of existence without leaving the earth and even without leaving our physical body. Everything will rejuvenate. Everything will, just like in the cocoon, will change. And we will celebrate the rise of a new community, of a new humankind that is in total alignment with Mother Earth, because Gaia, our Earth, is rising from the third dimension into the fifth dimension. So if you want to stay on it and really live in paradise, then that's what you're asked to do. How difficult can it be? Find your tribe, find other women who you can do this together with, rising up from the dense division, three-dimensional world through the fourth into the fifth dimensional. I can't wait. I hope you come with me and all of the beautiful women who are on that path. Okay? Yes, thank you so much for being here with me. Until next Saturday. Oh, wait, next Saturday, I will run a pre-recorded video because I will be traveling. I will not be here, but I have a guest that Andrea Sadler, who is amazing, and you can listen to her, and she's amazing. Has so much to share, so much value. Next Saturday, okay? And then the Saturday after that, we are together again. All of my love to you. Love yourself. Bye-bye for now.